secrets of the universe.
Welcome.
We are back.
To the Last Awakening podcast.
I am your host, Joshua David, and I am here with the one, the only, Johnny Walker. It's good to see you again there, Johnny. We are back with another video. This one is called Slow to Anger.
How are you seeing me?
What?
How are you seeing me? I'm not on video.
It's good to see you, bro. It's always good to see you.
Oh, it's good to see you too.
I see you as the Father sees you.
Pretty handsome, huh? It has nothing to do with looks. Get people all thrown off. So I noticed this time I didn't have a nickname. That's all right. Maybe next
You
time.
just had the long, drawn-out Walker.
Yeah, that was a little creepy. I just want you to get scared, our viewers. So we are back.
We
Welcome,
are.
welcome, welcome, and hello.
Welcome and hello. Or what they say in like Chicago, hello.
Hello. Hello. I think, isn't that like Medea or something?
Yeah. Hello.
You know, hello. So, the title of the video, like Josh said,
Slow to Anger.
Slow to Anger. We were having a conversation with our dear friend Cindy that's been on the channel. And by the way, everybody has agreed, go ahead and make the announcement, to be the administrator of our social media, which as soon as we get that all set up and ready to go, we will let everybody know what our Instagram and Facebook sites are. We'll let you know all that. So thank you very much to Miss Cindy. And we think that she's going to do a really, really good job at it. But we're having a conversation with her about the slow to anger.
Do you
And
guys
it just
finally see
happened-
what I have to deal with on a daily basis when I talk to this guy?
Shush your face when we talk. So the next day, literally the next day, we find more scripture and dig into slow to anger. And
Well, actually,
see
we was
that,
looking at something else, and then we ended up looking up that scripture because of the other stuff we found.
Exactly. And Josh is going to show you. It doesn't mean exactly what you think it means.
It does not.
Yeah.
So we are over here in James 1:19. And I think my screen's a little cockeyed. See here. Okay. My dear brothers and sisters, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Huh. Let's go to the Greek.
Pretty self-explanatory so far, you
Right?
would think.
No, brothers, my beloved, let be, however, every man swift unto hear, slow unto speak, slow unto anger. I gotta remember which words I looked up last time. The main concept is that you're supposed to be quickly to hear someone, quick to listen to them, and we're gonna look at the word slow here. Slow of understanding, as in taking time to deliberate, unhurried, while still moving forward after considering all the facts.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, you're supposed to be slow to say anything before you hear all the facts.
Yep.
And then you're supposed to be slow unto anger. Again, slow to of understanding. Taking the time to deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
Thinking before you act.
Think before you speak.
And anger means anger, wrath, passion, punishment, vengeance. Properly settled anger. Oh, you've taken on the facts. You've taken time to deliberate and understand someone who is speaking to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you settled the anger or position you had. Or rising up from an ongoing fixed position.
So it's the changing of mind, right? Taking the time to listen to somebody's position.
Instead of getting mad.
And understanding where they're coming from. We was talking about this when me and Josh found this, and it's basically like, how many times does somebody come in and they're angry about it? Maybe your boss, maybe a coworker, maybe a relative, family member, husband, wife. They perceive that you did something. Maybe you never did it. Maybe you did. And they come at you all angry. They might be yelling at you, getting on to you about it. And immediately in this world, we are quick to defend ourselves. We're quick to get angry because somebody's mad at us. And this here's teaching us, hear them out, right? Hear them out. See what they're upset about. Try to understand why they would be upset about it. And just listen before you speak. Everybody's super ready to get defensive.
Yeah.
And to stand their ground, right? And if somebody has, even if it's a situation where somebody's just talking to you and they have a position that you don't agree with, like that, where you just talk about your stance or whatever it is, you may have a stance on something, be it religion, politics, all this stuff. You don't have to get defensive. Maybe if you hear somebody out, you can receive truth. Maybe you really don't feel the way you feel. Maybe you were just taught to feel a certain way about something, to have a certain stance on something. Right. And maybe if you take the time to hear somebody that actually has truth, your stance will change. Don't be quick to shut somebody down and get all angry. And that's what he's saying here. Slow to speak.
So
quick to listen.
In the helps word studies, it says proceeding from an internal disposition which steadfastly opposes someone or something based on extended personal exposure, i.e., solidifying what the beholder considers wrong, unjust, or evil.
Mm-hmm. Kind of what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Grandpa was a Republican and Dad was a Republican, and so I hate Democrats. No.
So, swift to hear, hearing, like you said, hearing someone out.
Yeah.
Allowing someone else to actually give their opinion. Like, I just allowed John to talk for like 5 minutes.
Yep.
Because he has the right to say what he has to say too. This isn't about Josh and, me trying to control stuff. This is us, and we have different views sometimes.
Yeah.
So, slow to speak, slow unto anger. But quick to hear what someone has to say, to understand what someone else is thinking. It's not about always your perspective, because until you start hearing other people's perspective, you're not going to know nothing.
Yeah.
Because iron can't sharpen iron if you're a lone piece of iron by yourself.
Yeah.
There's no one to sharpen you because it takes someone else's point of view to sharpen you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want to say.
No, that's a good point. You're not gonna sharpen your iron on air. You need an opposing opinion against yours to. It makes your point sharper. Whether yours is wrong or right, you're going to get sharper in what you know and what you're talking about. That's a good point.
Did we read any other verses from going forward on this one or not? I don't remember.
It was talking about a little bit different stuff. I think it was just more of the same verse. They start talking about a little bit different stuff.
Yeah, the next verse is because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires.
Yep.
Therefore, get rid of all moral filth and the
Mhm.
evil that is so prevalent, and humbly accepted the word planted in you. Imagine that. Humbly accept the word planted in you. When was it planted in you? From the beginning of you.
From the beginning.
Which this is one of the other verses I wanted to talk about too. Yeah, which that word that's planted in you can save you or preserve you.
Mm-hmm.
The word there is preserve. We don't like saying save because people think it's going down to an altar and saying some stupid prayer. No, it's the word that was planted in you from your birth is the only thing that can save you.
Yep.
Preserve you. Save your souls. The Berean Bible Study says, and the King James, which is able to save your soul.
Yep.
So what saves your soul? Was it the man dying on the cross? No, it's the love, the word that was planted inside of you when you came into this existence. That saves your soul. And it's the only thing that can preserve it.
That's right.
Do not merely listen to the word, but do not merely listen to the word, and so deceive yourselves, but do what it says. We say this all the time. You got people who say they believe the word, they hear the word, but they're only hearers. They're not doing the actual works, which is love, mercy, grace, peace, long-suffering, kindness, compassion.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have none of that stuff.
Yep.
They're always judging everyone.
Yeah.
They're not doing any of the works that Jesus actually did. Not the miracles, his works. Two different things. The church will tell you that the works are the miracles. No. It's loving people, giving people mercy, forgiving people. Those are the works of the word. The love inside of you that was planted in you, which can save your soul or preserve it. Anyone who listens to the word but does not do what it says is like someone who looked at his face in a mirror And after looking at himself, goes away and immediately forgets what he looks like. They go to their church buildings all the time and talk about all this love and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as they leave that church building,
They have no clue what
they
it
don't
was
have
ever
a
about.
clue what anything ever was about.
Yep.
Because they don't believe the love inside of them.
Yep. It's merely the perception, right? They change the perception. They'll see that the truth, that love of the Father, was staring them in the face in that mirror all along.
All along. It's
Yep.
been inside of them the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But whoever looks intently,
Mm. And that seeking
to
the kingdom,
stoop
looking.
sideways, to stoop to look, I stoop, I peer in,
Mm-hmm. Inside.
look down or inward,
Mm-hmm.
look intently. Strong's exhaustive concordance, look into. In other words, going beyond the surface,
That's right. Talk about it all the
going
time.
deep into what these words actually mean, like we do on here.
Mm-hmm.
But whoever looks intently into the perfect law. What was called perfect? Love was called
Love.
perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus said, if you wanted to be perfect, go sell all your possessions, all your rules. Go sell them. Get rid of them. So
Yeah,
then,
you reading that scripture, I was just thinking about somebody that's lost their keys. Because it's talking about stooping, looking to the side, looking with it. Think about somebody lost their keys, they're looking to the side of the couch.
keys to the
they're
kingdom,
squatting.
bro.
Yep, they're squatting down. I didn't even realize that when I decided to use keys as an example. They squat down, stoop down, look under the couch, and they pull the cushions off and look within the couch
Yeah,
and not just on the surface.
not just
And
on the
it
surface.
Yep, and it's seeking the kingdom. That looking intently, that is seeking. And the keys to the kingdom, they're inside.
Yep. And into that
Within.
perfect law. Look intently into that perfect law. The one
right.
that was planted in you at your birth. James is telling
Yep.
you the same thing that we've been saying for 11 months now.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. This is why Paul hated him.
Yep.
Into the perfect law. And that perfect law gives you what? That gives you freedom.
Mm.
The perfect
Boy,
law gives
that's
you freedom. Love gives you freedom.
What does church doctrine give you?
Rules and regulations
Hmm.
that you can't
Bondage.
follow.
Yep.
Something else I was thinking about, we heard the whole thing about, no one's ever heard or seen the Father. Jesus said, no one's ever heard or seen the Father, ever.
Mm-hmm.
Ever. So who are all these people in the Bible supposedly talking to?
Yep.
Moses, the prophets. Caiaphas, when he told you that they were going to use the death of one man to bring everybody into slavery.
Prophesied it from who?
The devil himself.
That's right.
Because no one had ever heard the Father until Jesus came, and they didn't believe him. His
Yep.
prophecies came from the devil.
Yep.
And continues in love, not forgetting what they have heard, but doing it.
Ooh.
They will be blessed in what they do. You want to be blessed by the Father? You want to have a blessed life? Start
Abundant
doing the
life.
works of mercy, grace, forgiveness, love. You will have an abundant life that you won't know what to do with.
And peace that passeth all understanding. When Josh said grace, he meant the kindness, not the slavery grace.
Yes.
The kindness. And you'll be happier and you'll have more joy. And the more of these attributes you have of love and the more you share with others, the happier you'll get and the more joy you'll get and the more peace you'll get and the more abundance of life you'll get. And it's a repetitive cycle. The more you give to others of those works, the more yours will increase.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as a side effect, I guess you would say, I can't think of the word, I'll go side effect of all that, other things in your life will straighten up.
Everything will start lining up with the word that's in you, love.
That's right.
Those who consider themselves religious and yet do not keep a tight rein on their tongues deceive themselves, and their religion is worthless. This is speaking to one group of people that's here now.
Yeah.
Who keep putting judgments on everyone.
Told Josh yesterday, we were talking about this, there's a lot of tongue flapping going on behind the pulpits.
Yeah.
And in the pews. Directed to everybody outside
anymore,
the four
it's on
walls.
social media and every place.
Sure. It's everywhere now. But it's those people that they hold dear the beliefs they have, the laws they have. They're the rich men that we've talked about before. The rich man that doesn't want to give up his riches.
All the things he kept since he was little, all those rules, they mean nothing.
No. And right there it says, your religion's crap.
Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this: to look after orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world.
And how do you keep yourself from being polluted? Staying in the kingdom.
And this
that's in you.
And for people who understand who the orphans and widows are, what thing do they have in common? They lost their father.
Yep.
They're not in the kingdom. The orphans are the people not in the kingdom, and so are the widows. They don't have a father. They're not in the kingdom. But you're supposed to be looking after them, helping them guide themselves to the kingdom.
Yep.
Because the world could care less.
The world and all its systems, including religion.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, is there anything else you want to say on this video, John?
No, I'm absolutely good. I think it's the best one yet.
Of course.
Of course.
With that, we are the Last Awakening Warriors. What? What did you say? You want to try to cut me off? What?
No. Be blessed. Be a blessing.
And with that, I am Joshua David. I am here with Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker.
He keeps doing this, and we're going to have a fight on camera one day. You're gonna see me body slamming right here. It's gonna be WrestleMania 3, Hulk Hogan picking up Andre the Giant.
There we go. Is that a fat reference? Just kidding.
And with
I'll
that,
take it.
do the works of the Father within you, love. And be blessed.
Unlocking secrets of the universe.
Welcome to the Last Awakening podcast.
We did not appreciate you laughing
It's all
over
right.
the outro.
Welcome to the awakening.
Who are we?
Who are you? So who are we? Who are you?
I am me. I am.
I am too.
All right.